Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna, and today we are here with Miss Andrea Goodman. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Doing wonderful. It's such a wonderful, hot Florida day as usual. So how is, I heard that it was supposed to be like spring weather in Tennessee today.
It is very much so. It's in the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we like to start off our shows with one of the most difficult questions ever. Who is Andrea Goodman?
Oh, man. Yeah, that is an interesting question whenever you get asked that. I would have to say I am a pretty transparent storyteller. That's how I come up with pretty much every one of my songs. It always starts with something true at least, and then maybe embellished upon, but it's usually something that's pretty true to who I am. I just love music. I'm passionate about it. I love to perform for people. I love to relate to people through song, and that basically sums me up.
Beautiful. So I was listening to your debut album, No Man's Land.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, your most recent release, Bourbon Breakdown. You want to tell us a little bit how that song came about?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because that goes all the way back to when I first moved here. My friend Gerald Smith, I've known him for a long time now, but I had just met him and he wrote What Part of No. He co-wrote that for Lori Morgan and has had many other cuts. And then another friend of mine, John Fountain, the three of us get together. He's written #1 bluegrass songs for Marty Raybon. No big deal, you know? And so they get me into the room and they're like, you have any ideas? And I'm thinking, should we go with one of my ideas or one of y'all's? Because you're kind of experienced. But I was like, I'll just throw it out there. And instead of having a nervous breakdown, why not have a bourbon breakdown? And they were like, well, that doesn't suck. So we went with it. Yeah, and it's gotten legs over time. So, yeah.
I love that. You know, it's successful when people agree that it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck.
Oh, I think that's a new measurement for success, huh?
Right.
Oh, so tell us, were there any other songs that you absolutely loved off that debut album that were just perfect? Like, I know they're all your babies because obviously your most recent released album or singles or EPs, I know is everyone's baby. So out of all the little babies, which ones do you think that were the ones that you couldn't have done that without? Like, there's no way.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. Lipstick is definitely one of those because it was one of the first ones I ever wrote. It's one of the two on the album that I wrote solo by myself without anybody's help. So I've been playing that for years, and that was actually one of my first demos that I ever had. So it's just really special to me, and everybody loves it. It's just a different song, and it's got a cool vibe to it. So I would have to say that's one of my favorite ones on there.
Wonderful. I love. I'm a singer songwriter that like I love the singer songwriters. Yeah, that makes me happy. Yeah,
Aww,
that and dogs, you know.
I love it.
So tell us, who are some of the women that have inspired you to do music?
Well, first and foremost, and it's probably a common one with my age range, is Miranda Lambert. Always have been inspired by her. In fact, when I got to play the first time at Casa Rosa on Broadway, I was like, this isn't the Opry, but it's still pretty cool. It's like kind of up there because I said I've only been practicing for this for like 12 years now. But she's a big one. I would have to say many of the 90s country artists like Patti Loveless, Trisha Yearwood, people like that for sure that I grew up on, without a doubt.
Well, those are amazing women.
Right.
Yeah. And you're actually, I gotta totally understand that whole, you're getting to play at Casa Rosa, because I mean, that's just cool in itself. Like, it
Yeah,
is like when you have someone that you've looked up to and they own a bar in Nashville, it's like, you know,
it was so cool.
it'd be like me lip syncing in Dollywood, that would work.
Yeah, exactly. For
Oh,
sure.
oh, that's wonderful. So, who are some of your favorite co-writers?
Ooh, okay, gotcha. So,
In no
one
particular order, just recent ones that you may have
just
worked with.
recent
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, because there's so many
Because you
people.
love everyone. I know.
I know. So Jessica Nixon is a friend of mine, and she's more of a recent person brought into to the fold. I love writing with her. We're a lot alike. Erica Sunshine Lee, we write such good stuff together. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but
Yes, ma'am.
she's incredible. Which, if you've heard of her, you know that.
Yes.
I love writing with Bill DeLuigi. I've written a lot of good stuff with him. I feel like I'm shunning people right now. I'm like trying to think, but like those are the ones
Yeah.
that are standing out in my brain at the moment.
Oh, well, the reason I was asking that was so I could ask this next question. If you could have a dream co-write with anyone or any two or three people, who would you choose?
Oh my goodness. Well, I would have to say, I think for a lot of people, Lori McKinnon is a big one. And that would be just like really cool. You look at that resume and it's just astounding. For just to be honest, Dean Dillon, obviously. I mean, if you think about the people that have written songs that have really influenced your career, those are a couple that come to mind. There's so many, but for sure, those. Yeah.
I love both of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to get into our fun 20 question segment?
Let's do it.
Okay. No right or wrong answers except for a couple.
Okay.
One, we could end up going to jail if there's a wrong answer, just saying.
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure. Oh, what's the last thing you read?
Oh, okay. As far as an article or a book?
Anything, whichever you
Any,
feel.
okay. Well, now I will be completely honest. I am part of a women's Bible study at Brentwood Baptist, where I go to church. And so we are reading Seek First the Kingdom, and I've been working through that with my group. That's honestly the last thing I've read. If you really want to say read. I mean, it's outside of articles and random things online.
Perfect. If I came to you, hypothetically, and said, I have a dead body, do you know a good place to hide one?
Well, I watch a lot of ID channel. I don't know if that makes me a really big, bizarre weirdo or not. But I think I've found all the places that you don't need to have one. I don't know that I would have the answer, but I do know all the things not to do at this point.
The ID channel has been very useful in our lives, has it not?
It has been.
They have some great shows. I just love their names. Wives with Knives. I mean, very creative people come up with those names.
Who the bleep did I marry?
Yeah. Oh, so what's the top two concerts you've ever been to?
So I have seen George Strait a few times. Loved it. In fact, I remember one of those times I saw Miranda opening up for him, and that's when she first came out. It was amazing. And I love Justin Moore. He's one of my favorite artists ever. And I've seen him a few times. Seeing him at the Ryman, his first time at the Ryman, it was amazing. It was awesome.
Wonderful. Both great concerts. I guarantee those are, yeah.
Right.
What's the first thing you would do if you won the lottery? And we're talking not like $10 on a scratch up. We're talking like, 100 million or something. Crazy.
Big time.
Yeah. We're going crazy.
Honestly, I'd probably buy a bus. My dad has told his boss, he's like, if she gets a bus, I'm gone. I'm driving. And my family's super supportive. My husband's super supportive. So if I had money, I would honestly invest it in the career, like to really get some stuff rolling.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell us what's something on your bucket list.
Oh, I would love to play in Europe.
Ooh,
That's something I would love to do that I haven't gotten to do yet. I've not even been there. So, yeah.
beautiful. I think we can help make that happen. I think. Well, yeah.
Really?
Sure. I can say something to some other people and we'll see what happens. I can't promise
Good
anything,
to
but
know.
we'll do what we can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm an eighth German, so I've always wanted to go to Berlin. My great grandmother was from there. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What job would you be terrible at?
There's such a long list. I have actually done this job here in Nashville. I was a server / bartender. I'm not a good server at all. I don't have a poker face. People know when I'm pissed. People know when I'm not feeling it. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, that's great. I love that. What is your game plan for zombie apocalypse?
Oh man. I was never a big believer in the whole zombie deal. So people always told me you would be the bus driver because you would have no idea what to do. And so I would have to have a group of people around me who are well versed and educated and experienced, so to say. I mean, I don't really know how you get experience until you actually go through it, but I'd have to have some people around me who knew what was up because I don't.
Totally understand that. I've already enlisted some other people that had really good game plans. I'm like, can I just come with you? I'll do whatever you need me to do. Just yeah.
Just tell me what to do. I'll tag along.
Exactly. Oh, what albums or artists should we listen to before we die?
Oh man. My favorite album is Sonny Sweeney's Trophy. I love that album. And it doesn't hurt that I have a friend who produced that album, Dave Brainerd. He's amazing. I just went to him and his wife's wedding with my husband in Jackson Hole like a week and a half ago, but he has produced some amazing albums. And that's at the top for me. I love Tyler Childers. I guess it's Purgatory is the one. I love that one. The Marfa tapes is a big one. Obviously, I said I was a Miranda fan. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's a great album.
Yeah.
So, who would play you or who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
Ooh, that is a great question. I don't know why this person comes to mind, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Kate Hudson. That's who I was trying to think of. I don't know why, but there's just something about her. I think that'd be cool.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little more prolific. Where's Waldo?
Wherever you want him to be.
That was like the politically correct answer.
It seems like the safe one.
I think he was at McDonald's the other day, so I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's a good place.
Oh, would you rather cook or order in?
I would rather cook if I feel like it, if I'm not just dog tired. It just all depends on the day, but I love cooking because it's therapeutic.
Beautiful. Favorite meal?
Favorite meal? I love steak, medium rare. So I'd have to say that's up there. I really love pasta though. Love pasta.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sing in the shower?
Actually don't, believe it or not. I do so many shows that this sounds bad. I have to take a break from music. So I'm just kind of like in my thoughts and kind of thinking through things and decompressing. I know that probably sounds crazy as an artist, but
Not at all. I think everyone is different. But there are a lot of people that are like, yes. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, some people surprise me. Some people don't,
Right.
Boots or heels?
boots all day long. Heels, I'm more likely to fall in.
Oh, yes, we've gotten out of those heels for sure. I'm right there
Yeah.
with you. I think I
I
own one
learned
pair.
some, but not a lot.
Yeah. Oh, what's the best thing since sliced bread?
Ooh. I would have to say that I am such a TV junkie. I watch way too much TV. It's a vice. So all the streaming that's available now, it's unreal. All the programs and all the movies and everything just right there. So I'd have to say that.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool answer. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's actually nice. You can watch shows when they're not on, which is kind of the benefit there. It's so awesome.
I know.
You know, I used to have to like sit there and record with the VHS. For those of you who are too young to know that, there's this thing called a VHS tape.
That you had to pop in the slot. And yeah. Oh, I remember those.
Oh, so do you have any guilty pleasure music? If so, what is it?
Guilty pleasure music. So I grew up going through high school on some like pop and rock. I love Blink 182 and things of that era. So I would have to say that's up there, Limp Bizkit, stuff like that. I don't listen to it all the time now, but I can go back and I can tell you every word just about.
Oh, I think that is something in our age group there that that is it. That's just yeah.
It just is.
It is what it is. It's like it's all good music. There's no rhyme or reason. Doesn't matter. What is the worst pizza topping?
Ooh. What would be the worst pizza topping? I used to be weird and I wouldn't eat onions and stuff like that, but I've gotten used to it. I don't like peppers so much on pizza. I'd have to go with that one.
I like that.
Yeah.
The controversial topic of the year for the pizza has been pineapple.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I like pineapple.
And I didn't think this would be such a controversial thing, but it's either yes or heck no. And it's really that. Yeah.
It's black and white. I love pineapple on pizza, actually. Yeah.
Well, if you could be any person or any position, like a CEO or an accountant or doctor, who or what position would you want to be for one day and why?
Oh, all right. That's a really good question. I'm trying to think of this. I think that it would be cool to be a vet because I love animals. I especially love dogs. So I don't know that I would pass all the classes to get me there. But if it was just going to magically happen one day and I had the knowledge and I could do it for a day, that would be really cool.
Wonderful. I love it. Yes, we're dog lovers here.
Right?
Yeah.
I love dogs.
Yeah, people that don't love animals make me nervous. I'm like, why? Just
there's probably a problem somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like we need to sit down with a psychiatrist and figure it out.
Right. Let's talk this out.
Yeah. Oh, are you good at keeping secrets?
You know, yes. If someone tells me that it's absolutely pertinent, I do. If it's something that's really important not to be told, I'd rather not know because I don't like having that stress on me and having to keep it and make sure it doesn't slip out because I've had things slip out before. It happens. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, at what age do you feel like you became an adult?
Oh, wow. I would honestly say in my early 30s, because up until then, I thought I had it figured out, but I really didn't. I got to a point in my life, I was a teacher before I started music, like full-time music. I was doing music while that was happening. But I guess I was about 30 when I moved to Nashville. So that would have to be it. Yeah, a lot of changes in my life. I figured out who I really was, what I wanted to do. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you live by any words of wisdom?
So I had this teacher in 4th grade, and I actually got to tell her this not that long ago that I remember, and she probably doesn't even remember saying it. She doesn't seem like she did. But she said the difference between a child and an adult is a child says whatever they think without thinking about it, but an adult does. Like there's the filter where you're like, should I say that? Should I not? How should I say it? And so that's something that I've always tried to stick by when going about things.
Great advice. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, so what does the rest of 2022 have for you? Obviously, you have a show on Monday nights at Alley Taps, Bourbon Breakdown. You want to tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure. We do that every Monday night at Alley Taps. My husband hosts along with me. Marty is his name. We do every night there, every Monday night, 6 to 10. And then once a month at Live Oak, which is coming up tomorrow. Well, with the day that we're in, I know that this will be posted later. But the last Wednesday of every month, we do it at Live Oak. And then we actually have dates coming up in Key West, Florida for the Songwriters Festival. It's not part of the big lineup, but it's kind of happening alongside at the same time. Yeah.
That's definitely exciting. I think anytime you get to go to the Songwriters Fest in Key West, it's an adventure for anyone who's never been there.
It's amazing. It really is. I have some touring coming up too. I'm going to be going to Ohio, and I go to Frontier Days every July. So
In Cheyenne? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I love it out there.
Wow. I have to tell you, the last couple of years we've been traveling, and we usually end up leaving Florida in the summer and going in the RV, and that would have been great to catch you there. But we always seem to miss the Frontier Days. Like we're there 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after or something weird like that. So yeah.
I gotcha. It's so cool. It's such a cool town.
Definitely. It's been a pleasure having you, and you are welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, like I said. And everyone, make sure you go follow all of Andrea's socials and her website for the newest releases coming out and her tour dates. And thank you all for joining us for another episode of Crazy Women Country. Have a great day. If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.